So the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities generously provided funding to One Step to examine skills gaps. Mind the Gap is a project that's taking place here in southwestern Ontario. My name is Catherine Englander and I'm the project coordinator. Something very important that I've discovered through my examination of skills gaps is that there is free help out there for employers who are struggling. The help is provided through workforce planning boards, municipal economic development, chambers of commerce, and employment services. Employers just need to realize they can reach out to these free services and they will assist them in solving their skills gaps challenges.
So my name is Tanya Antonou and I'm the Executive Director of Workforce Windsor-Essex.
I'm Deb Mountain and I'm the Executive Director with the 4-County Labour Market Planning Board.
I'm Deb Mountain, the Executive Director with the Workforce Planning and Development Board that operates out of the London office.
For over 15 years, we have been able to connect employers with the right skilled, talented employees. And how we do that is making sure that we have the information from you as a business owner. What do you need in your employees? And we make sure that the people in our community have that information and can get the training that they need locally.
What we do is we take a look at labour market information. How does that impact on what employers are seeing within their workforce? Are they seeing a shortage of skills? Are they finding the right set of skills that they need? And if they're not, then we take a look at how we can bring partners together in the community to address those issues that the employers have identified.
As a Workforce Planning Board, we are constantly going out to networking events, to chamber events, where businesses are, and networking and finding out what their workforce needs are, and if there's an opportunity for us to either facilitate a project, connect them with our Employment Ontario service provider partners, or if there's funding opportunities available for their workforce development needs, we can point them in that direction.
My name is John Griffiths, and I'm the Director of Workforce Development here at Goodwill Career Center. So let's say that you're a small employer, you don't necessarily have maybe a human resources department, maybe you don't even have an HR person. You struggle to do the recruiting, it takes time away from your core business. What we can do for you as an employment service provider is help you and kind of become that HR department for recruiting purposes and for support purposes, getting the skilled staff that you need. We can come in and we can understand what your business needs are. We can get to know you a little bit. We can understand what your recruiting needs are. And we can help you to recruit those skilled people that you need. The service providers, to one extent or another, collaborate with each other. And what I'm really proud of is that when an employer works with us here at Goodwill, they're not just tapping into our client group, they're tapping into the clients and the job seekers that are connected with the entire network of service providers. And what that means for the employer, when you're looking for someone to help you with your HR needs as a small or medium employer, you're tapping into an employment service network that has access to the largest pool of skilled labor in your community. So that's really powerful.
So it's Kapil Lakhotia. I'm the president of London Economic Development Corporation. Many companies, are busy with their day-to-day operations, trying to fill the existing contracts and whatnot, and are only focused on short-term HR needs. But it's also important to keep a long-term lens on to develop those linkages in the community to be able to benefit from future talent pipelines as well. Economic development agencies such as ours in London have a constant pulse on changing labor market conditions as well as a changing employment landscape in any community. So it's important for small and medium-sized businesses to loop in with their economic development providers to get an understanding of how that landscape might be changing in that community. Many education providers, many not-for-profit stakeholders, and other partners in the community also rely on the same ecosystem to develop their programming accordingly. So all of these different players can come together in any community and really develop their own community's skill sets accordingly.
We as employment service providers collaborate with other types of organizations. And some of them do things like labor market research, and they help us to understand what the labor market needs are.
We ask the employers as a group for their input on what their workforce issues are, what their hiring expectations are, and what happened with them last year as far as employment was concerned.
The employers were the great knowledge providers.
we will use that information to develop an action plan that will respond to your immediate needs as well as what you will be needing in the future. In the past, we've been able to hear what employers' needs are and be able to influence the training that happens locally.
We've had many employers saying, how can I find skilled individuals? So then we're able to either, if it's a very simple referral to one of our Employment Ontario service provider partners, or whether it's how can we strategize around a larger project to fill this skills gap, we're definitely there to support you.
At the local level here, we have 2 projects currently underway. The first is worktrends.ca, which is a local website to provide labor market information for employers and also for individuals looking to gain employment. That site offers them occupation information as well as industry information. So businesses can use that to take a look at what their competition might be as far as the other areas that are looking for similar employees. But also they can take a look and find out what information there is about their sector as well, and what areas they might want to be paying attention to. The second project we're looking at the local level here is the One Step Mind the Gap project. This is a project that we're working on with local partners to look at warehousing, transportation, and the customs brokerage industry to try and identify issues that those industries are having in respect to workforce. One of the major areas that they brought forward was the fact that people weren't really aware of the size of the industry at the local level and what those opportunities might be. So our concentration is really going to be on putting out the information to let people know what's available, how to get involved, and what requirements they need to be able to work in that industry.
We were fortunate to be involved in the One Step Mind the Gap project. One of the first things we heard from the employers was we need to get students and unemployed individuals out to the greenhouses, to the farms, to the wineries to see what these occupations are, what the skills are like. They need to see for themselves. We took over 150 students out to 11 different operations in the county. The students were so engaged asking questions about the seasonality of the occupations, or what are the wages, what are the expectations, what are the hours. So it was a great success, and showcasing again that you don't have to leave the Windsor-Essex area to do either research and development, marketing, growing. There are many different occupations, and talking about the opportunities there, it was just a fantastic program. And the Agriculture Committee, when we went back and updated them on the results, they were very pleased, and the next question was, how are we going to do it again next year? So that's a sure sign of success for us.
So the Mind the Gap project actually developed from that skills gap study, where employers said, particularly small business owners, have said, we are so busy doing the day-to-day work of running our business, we need to build capacity. So we asked them, where do you want to build that capacity? And many of them responded saying, we need to know more about HR. We need to know more about our human resources. How do we manage that particular part of our business? So recently, in partnership with One Step and the Chamber of Commerce in Owen Sound and other partners we've brought to the table, we were able to hold a series of events for employers to attend to get that HR capacity building. And they were excited. They came to all 3 events, and they felt that not only did we listen to what they had said, we actually created something that met their immediate needs. There is a community of services here to help our small and medium-sized businesses. The Workforce Planning Board, Economic Development Departments, school boards, and our local agencies. We all work together to respond to our local employers' needs. Help us do that by giving us your input.
You know, labor market planning is not an easy assessment by any means. Everything begins by having access to quality information. Quality information can lead to quality outcomes for both job seekers, companies, as well as education partners.
I believe that work is close to the core of our identity as individuals. It's close to the core of what makes families function. It's close to the core of what makes communities work well. And I can make my community better by helping individuals, by helping businesses to create opportunities for work.